10 police dogs suddenly surround a crying girl, and the world around her comes to a standstill. In a park buzzing with laughter, one little girl's tears cut through the joy, capturing the attention of everyone nearby. As the dogs close in, a chilling mystery unfolds, leaving onlookers breathless. What could connect her distress to these powerful animals? Join us as we uncover a moment that challenges everything you thought you knew about fear, courage, and unexpected connections. In a vibrant city park filled with the sounds of laughter and joy, 10-year-old Emma sits alone on a weathered wooden bench, tears streaming down her cheeks. The sun shines brightly overhead, casting a warm glow on the playground where children chase each other and families picnic with baskets full of treats. The scent of fresh popcorn and cotton candy wafts through the air. But for Emma, the world feels distant and cold. Her heart aches with a profound loneliness that seems insurmountable, making her feel like an island surrounded by a sea of indifference. Today, her heart is heavy, burdened by feelings she can't quite articulate, a mix of sadness, frustration, and a longing for comfort. As she hugs her knees to her chest, Emma watches the other children play, their laughter ringing like music in her ears. She wishes she could join them, but a sense of isolation has wrapped around her like a thick fog. What could have brought a child to such despair? The memory of an argument with her best friend flashes through her mind, a misunderstanding that spiraled out of control, leaving her feeling abandoned and alone. The tears fall faster now, blurring her vision, and she feels as though she's slipping further away from the joy that surrounds her. Suddenly, a loud crash disrupts the calm, sending a jolt of fear through her. Emma flinches, her heart racing as she instinctively looks around, panic beginning to bubble within her. Children scatter, and parents rush to gather their little ones, creating a ripple of chaos. But before she can fully comprehend what's happening, 10 police dogs, sleek and powerful, turn their attention towards her. Their muscles ripple beneath their coats as they move with purpose, their noses twitching in the air, catching scents that are imperceptible to the human nose. The crowd, sensing the shift in energy, begins to murmur, their curiosity piqued and their expressions shifting from amusement to concern. Emma feels the weight of their judgment pressing down on her, a wave of embarrassment washing over her. What could these dogs possibly detect that would bring such urgency? The police officers push through the crowd, their uniforms crisp and their expressions a mix of concern and determination. "What's happening?" Emma whispers, her voice trembling as she meets their gazes. "You're safe," Officer Reynolds reassures her. But his eyes reveal an unsettling tension, a flicker of something deeper that makes Emma's heart race even more. The dogs, trained to sense distress and danger, focus intently on her, their powerful bodies creating a barrier between her and the rest of the world. Panic surges through her as she realizes she's not just a bystander in this moment. She's at the center of a mystery that could unravel her entire world. In that moment, Emma is not merely a scared girl. She is a storm of emotions, fear, shame, confusion swirling inside her like a tempest. She tries to wipe her tears away, to regain some semblance of composure, but it feels futile as the dogs draw nearer. Just as she steels herself for what's to come, the lead dog suddenly sits, its nose pointing at a scrap of fabric caught on Emma's sleeve. The crowd gasps, their collective breath hitching as they realize something is amiss. Emma's heart pounds in her chest, a frantic drumbeat that drowns out the chaos around her. What does it mean? The realization that her situation has drawn this level of attention sends a chill down her spine. The officers exchange worried glances, their brows furrowing as they assess the scene. Emma can see their minds racing, piecing together fragments of information, weighing the implications of the dog's behavior. This isn't just about her tears anymore. The realization sinks in. She is about to become the focal point of something much larger, something that could change everything. The murmurs of the crowd grow louder, a cacophony of speculation and concern. Emma feels a knot tighten in her stomach as she stands up, her legs trembling beneath her. Just when the tension feels unbearable, Officer Reynolds steps forward, kneeling to meet her eye level. "Emma, can you tell us what happened? Did you lose something?" His voice is calm, but there's an urgency beneath it that makes her heart race. The crowd inches closer, their eyes wide with anticipation, waiting for her response. Emma swallows hard, feeling the weight of their attention. She shakes her head, her voice barely a whisper. "No, I was sad." But this was just the beginning of her nightmare. The dogs remain focused, their instincts driving them to uncover a truth that Emma is only beginning to grasp. As the officers exchange glances, a sense of dread fills the air. What will they discover? Emma steels herself for the worst, knowing that her world is shifting beneath her feet. She takes a deep breath, ready to face whatever comes next, even if it seems insurmountable. As the sun continues to rise high in the sky, casting shadows that stretch across the park, Emma stands there, a whirlwind of emotions churning within her. The crowd seems to hold its breath, every eye fixated on her as if waiting for a revelation that could change everything. Officer Reynolds, his brow furrowed with concern, gestures for the other officers to keep the crowd at bay, while he focuses on Emma. The dogs, their powerful forms tense and alert, remain close by, their keen senses attuned to the slightest shift in the air. "Emma," Officer Reynolds says gently, "can you tell me if someone touched you or if you saw something unusual?" His voice is calm, a soothing balm against the rising tide of anxiety. Emma shakes her head, her throat tight. All she can think about is how vulnerable she feels, exposed under the scrutiny of so many eyes. "No, I just sat down and started crying," she manages to say, her voice wavering. I didn't mean to cause a scene." Around her, the murmurs of the crowd begin to fade, replaced by a growing concern for the girl at the center of this unfolding drama. As Emma looks around, she notices that some parents are shielding their children, pulling them closer as if to protect them from the unknown. The dogs, however, seem unyielding, their focus unwavering as they sniff the air, searching for clues that might explain the inexplicable connection between Emma's tears and their trained instincts. Suddenly, one of the dogs, a large German shepherd with a shiny coat, takes a step forward, its nose pressed against the fabric caught on Emma's sleeve. The crowd gasps again, and Emma feels her heart race even faster. What could possibly be on that scrap of fabric? The officer kneeling beside her, a young woman named Officer Martinez, carefully reaches out to inspect the fabric. "Let's see what we're dealing with," she says, her voice steady and reassuring. As Officer Martinez takes the fabric in her hand, Emma's mind races. What if it's something bad? What if it leads to trouble? Her cheeks flush with fear, and she bites her lip, trying to hold back another wave of tears. Just then, Officer Reynolds speaks again, his tone firm yet gentle. "Emma, we're here to help you. If there's anything you remember, anything at all, now is the time to tell us." At that moment, Emma recalls the little boy from the playground, the one who had been teasing her earlier. She hesitates, unsure if it's relevant, but the nagging thought won't leave her mind. There was a boy. He was being mean to me, she finally admits, her voice barely above a whisper. He said I was a baby for crying. Do you remember what he looked like? Officer Reynolds asks, leaning in closer, his eyes intent. Emma nods, trying to conjure the image in her mind. He had a red shirt and messy hair. I think he was playing with a ball. Officer Martinez, still examining the fabric, looks up with a frown. This doesn't seem like normal fabric, she murmurs, almost to herself. It looks like it could be from a jacket or a shirt. Emma's eyes widen as she realizes this could be a piece of evidence, a clue connected to the boy who had upset her. Could it be from the boy's shirt? She wonders aloud. And the officers exchange glances, their expressions shifting to one of determination. Let's see if we can find him, Officer Reynolds says, his voice resolute. Stay close to us, Emma. We'll make sure you're safe. With that, the officers begin to disperse, sending some of the police dogs to search the area while others question nearby parents and children about the boy in the red shirt. Emma watches, her heart pounding with a mix of fear and hope. Could this lead to an explanation for the strange turn of events? As the crowd begins to thin, Emma feels a strange sense of empowerment. She is no longer just a frightened girl. She is an active part of the unfolding story. The dogs, now on high alert, sniff the ground, their powerful noses working tirelessly to track down the scent that might lead them to the boy. Emma takes a deep breath, feeling a flicker of courage igniting within her. Maybe, just maybe, this day wouldn't end in despair. Minutes stretch into what feels like hours as the search continues. Emma watches as Officer Reynolds approaches a group of children playing nearby, his demeanor calm yet authoritative. He kneels down to speak with them, pointing to the dogs and explaining the situation. Emma strains to hear, her heart racing as she waits for any sign of progress. Suddenly, a shout breaks through the air. There he is, one of the officers calls out, and Emma's heart skips a beat. She turns to see a small boy in a bright red shirt running towards the officers, his face a mix of confusion and fear. What's going on? He asks, glancing at the dogs, who are now sitting obediently, their eyes trained on him. Are you the boy who was playing near the swings? Officer Reynolds asks, his tone firm but calm. The boy nods slowly, his eyes darting around, as if he senses the gravity of the situation. Yeah, but I didn't do anything, he protests, raising his hands defensively. Emma feels a rush of conflicting emotions, fear, anger, and a strange sense of justice. You made fun of me, she calls out, her voice stronger than before. You said I was a baby for crying. The boy looks taken aback, his expression shifting from defiance to realization. I didn't mean it, he stammers, glancing at the officers, who are now watching him closely. I just thought it was funny. Funny? Emma echoes, her heart racing. You made me feel terrible. The boy's face softens as he begins to understand the impact of his actions. He glances at the officers again, and for a moment, it seems as though he might apologize. Officer Reynolds steps closer, his gaze steady. It's important to understand that our words can hurt others, even if we don't mean them to. Emma was upset, and that's why we're here. The boy's shoulders slump as he processes the officer's words, the weight of the situation settling upon him. While the boy looks down in shame, Emma feels a mix of satisfaction and empathy. She knows what it's like to feel alone and hurt, and in this moment, she realizes that even the boy in the red shirt is just a kid, navigating his own feelings and misunderstandings. I just wanted to be left alone, she says softly, her voice losing some of its edge. I didn't want to cry in front of everyone. With the tension in the air beginning to dissipate, Officer Reynolds turns to Emma, a reassuring smile on his face. You did well, Emma. You spoke up, and that takes a lot of courage. Let's make sure this doesn't happen again. He then addresses the boy. You need to apologize to Emma for the hurtful things you said. It's important to be kind to one another. The boy looks at Emma, and for the first time, she sees sincerity in his eyes. I'm really sorry, Emma. I didn't mean to make you cry, he says, his voice small. Emma nods slowly, feeling a warmth in her chest. It's not easy to forgive, but she recognizes the importance of letting go of the anger that had built up inside her. Thank you, she replies, her voice steadier now. I appreciate that. The boy's shoulders relax, and for the first time, Emma sees him not just as a bully, but as another kid trying to figure things out. As the sun begins to set, casting a golden hue over the park, Emma knows that this day has changed her. No longer just the girl surrounded by police dogs, she has found her voice and is ready to face whatever comes next. The officers begin to disperse, ensuring that the crowd is safely guided away and that the children are returned to their parents. Officer Martinez approaches Emma, kneeling to meet her eye level. You were very brave today, Emma. Not everyone would have the courage to speak up like you did. Remember, it's okay to ask for help when you need it. Emma nods, feeling a sense of pride swell within her. As the last rays of sunlight dip below the horizon, Emma takes a deep breath, feeling a newfound sense of strength. She knows that she can face her fears and stand up for herself. The experience has taught her more than she could have imagined. Not just about courage, but about compassion, forgiveness, and the importance of kindness. With the park emptying out and the sky turning shades of pink and purple, Emma walks home with her head held high, ready to embrace whatever tomorrow has in store. Today, she discovered that even in moments of fear and uncertainty, she can find her voice and make a difference. Not just for herself, but for others as well. The next day dawned bright and clear, the sun spilling golden light across Emma's bedroom as she sat up in bed, stretching her arms above her head. The events of the previous day played over and over in her mind, like a movie she couldn't quite turn off. It had been a whirlwind of emotions, fear, confusion, and ultimately, a sense of empowerment. She had faced her bully, stood up for herself, and even received an apology. It was a lot for a 10-year-old to process, but she felt a newfound strength burgeoning within her. As she got ready for school, Emma caught a glimpse of herself in the mirror. She took a moment to examine the girl staring back at her. Her brown hair was slightly tousled, and her hazel eyes sparkled with determination. Today is a new day, she whispered to herself, a mantra that felt both comforting and invigorating. She chose her favorite blue t-shirt that had a small rainbow on it, hoping it would brighten her mood and remind her to embrace positivity. At breakfast, Emma's mother noticed her daughter's upbeat demeanor. You seem happy today, Emma, she remarked, pouring cereal into a bowl. What's gotten into you? Emma hesitated for a moment, unsure how to explain the mix of emotions she felt after the previous day's incident. Instead, she smiled and shrugged. I just feel good. Her mother smiled back, a knowing look in her eyes. That's wonderful to hear, sweetheart. Just remember, it's okay to feel however you feel. If you ever need to talk about anything, I'm here for you. Emma appreciated her mother's words, feeling a warmth spread through her. With her mother's encouraging smile and a lunch packed with her favorite peanut butter and jelly sandwich, Emma set off for school, her feet crunching on the gravel path leading to the school gates. The walk felt different today. She was aware of the sound of the leaves crunching underfoot and the cheerful chirping of birds. Each step felt lighter, almost as if the weight of yesterday had lifted. But as she approached the school gates, a familiar knot of anxiety tightened in her stomach. Would the boy in the red shirt be there? Would he say anything to her? The playground was bustling with children, laughter echoing through the air. Emma spotted her friends gathered near the swings, and she felt a surge of relief. "Hey, Emma!" called out Sarah, her best friend, waving enthusiastically. Emma hurried over, her heart warming at the sight of her friends. "Did you hear what happened yesterday?" Sarah asked, her eyes wide with curiosity. "Everyone's talking about it." Emma felt a rush of embarrassment, but also a hint of pride. "Yeah, I guess it was kind of a big deal," she replied, trying to sound nonchalant. As her friends surrounded her, she felt the support of their friendship envelop her like a warm blanket. "Did you really have 10 police dogs around you?" Max, another friend, asked, his eyes shining with excitement. "That's so cool." Emma laughed, shaking her head. It was scary, not cool, but they were there to help. She shared the story of how she'd stood up for herself, her voice growing stronger as she recounted the details. Her friends listened intently, their expressions shifting from awe to admiration. "You're so brave, Emma," Sarah said, her voice filled with sincerity. "I don't know if I could do that." Emma felt a blush creep up her cheeks. It was one thing to feel brave. It was another to be recognized for it. Just then, a shadow crossed her path, and Emma turned to see the boy in the Mace dollhouse red shirt standing a few feet away. Her heart raced at the sight of him, but this time, instead of fear, she felt a mixture of curiosity and resolve. He seemed nervous, glancing between Emma and her friends. Hey," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. Emma took a deep breath, remembering Officer Reynolds' words about kindness and understanding. "Hi," she replied, trying to keep her tone neutral. "You were looking for me?" He nodded, shuffling his feet. "I wanted to say I'm sorry for what I said yesterday. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings." Emma studied his face, searching for sincerity. She could see that he truly felt remorseful, and that made her heart soften. "Thanks for saying that," she replied, her voice steady. "It did hurt, but I appreciate you coming to apologize." The boy's face brightened slightly, and for a moment they stood in an awkward silence. Emma realized that they were both just kids navigating the complexities of friendship and hurt feelings. "Do you want to play?" he asked, glancing at the swings where other kids were laughing and swinging high into the air. Emma hesitated, unsure of how to respond. She could see her friends watching, and she felt a flicker of uncertainty. But then she remembered how empowering it felt to stand up for herself, and how important it was to show kindness. "Sure," she said, surprising herself. "But only if you promise to be nice this time." The boy grinned, a genuine smile breaking across his face. "I promise." As they walked over to the swings together, Emma felt a surge of courage. It was a simple act, playing on the swings, but it felt significant. Her friends joined in, and soon the laughter returned, ringing out across the playground. They took turns swinging, racing to see who could go the highest, the carefree joy of childhood washing over them all. Emma reveled in the feeling of the wind rushing through her hair as she swung higher and higher. With each upward arc, she felt the weight of her worries lift, her laughter blending with that of her friends. In that moment, she was just a kid, enjoying the sun and the company of others, free from the burdens of yesterday. Throughout the day, Emma felt lighter. She engaged in her classes, participated in discussions, and even helped a classmate who was struggling with math. Each small interaction built her confidence, reinforcing the idea that she was capable of overcoming her fears and making a positive impact on those around her. The more she spoke up, the more she realized that her voice mattered. As the school day came to an end, Emma walked home with a smile plastered across her face. She felt proud of how she had handled the situation with the boy and grateful for the support of her friends. The sun was beginning to set, casting a warm orange glow over the neighborhood, and Emma took a moment to appreciate the beauty of the world around her. That evening, as she sat at the dinner table, her parents asked about her day. Emma couldn't contain her excitement as she recounted the events, the apology, the newfound friendship, and the exhilarating feeling of standing up for herself. Her parents exchanged proud glances, and Emma felt a sense of belonging and love enveloping her. "See, Emma, you're braver than you think," her mother said, her eyes twinkling. "Sometimes it takes a little courage to make things right." Emma nodded, her heart swelling with gratitude. She realized that courage wasn't just about facing fears. It was also about understanding others and building connections. After dinner, Emma retreated to her room, feeling restless with energy. She grabbed her journal and began to write about the day, her pen flying across the pages as she captured every detail. She wrote about the boy in the red shirt, how she had felt scared but also proud of herself for standing up for what was right. She wrote about her friends and the laughter they shared, the warmth of their support filling her heart with joy. As she continued to write, she realized that each word was a step towards understanding herself better. She was learning that her feelings were valid, that it was okay to feel sad or scared. But it was also important to express those feelings and find the strength to move past them. Writing became her own form of therapy, a way to process the world around her and find clarity in the chaos. With a contented sigh, Emma closed her journal, feeling a sense of accomplishment wash over her. The day had been transformative, and she was eager to see what tomorrow would bring. She felt a deep sense of hope blooming within her, a belief that she could face whatever challenges lay ahead. As she drifted off to sleep, Emma held on to the thought that she had the power to change her story, to turn moments of fear into opportunities for growth. She knew that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Tomorrow would be another day filled with possibilities, and she was ready to embrace whatever came her way. The next morning, Emma woke with the sun streaming through her window, casting a warm glow across her room. She stretched, feeling a sense of excitement bubbling within her. Today was the day of the school's annual talent show, a much-anticipated event that brought the entire school community together. Emma could hardly contain her enthusiasm as she thought about the performance she and her friends had been tirelessly rehearsing for over the past few weeks. They had choreographed a dance routine that combined their favorite moves, and she couldn't wait to showcase their hard work. As she got ready, Emma couldn't help but reminisce about how much had changed in just a few days since the incident in the park. The boy in the red shirt had apologized, and they had begun to forge a friendship. It felt as though the walls that had once separated them were crumbling, replaced by a growing sense of camaraderie among their classmates. The thought made her heart swell with happiness. At breakfast, her mother noticed her enthusiasm. "You seem particularly bright this morning, Emma," she remarked, pouring a generous helping of scrambled eggs onto Emma's plate. "Are you excited for the talent show today?" "Yeah, we've been practicing so hard." Emma replied, her eyes sparkling with anticipation. "I can't wait to show everyone our dance." She took a bite of her breakfast, savoring the taste of her mother's cooking. Each spoonful filled her with energy, fueling her excitement for what lay ahead. Her mother smiled back, clearly proud of her daughter. "I'm sure you'll do great, Emma. Just remember to have fun and enjoy the moment. It's not just about winning, it's about sharing what you love with others." With her mother's encouraging words echoing in her mind, Emma finished her breakfast, grabbed her backpack, and set off for school. The walk to school felt light-hearted. The air was crisp, and the sounds of laughter and chatter from other students filled her ears. The vibrant colors of the fall leaves painted the landscape, and Emma felt a sense of happiness as she embraced the beauty of the day. As she entered the school, the atmosphere was electric. Colorful posters decorated the hallways, proclaiming the talent show and showcasing the various acts that would perform. Emma spotted her friends gathered by the stage area, practicing their routine one last time, their movements full of energy and excitement. She joined them, her heart racing with a mix of nerves and eagerness. "Hey, Emma, are you ready?" Sarah asked, her ponytail swinging as she bounced on her toes. "I think so. Let's go over it one more time," Emma suggested, feeling the adrenaline surge through her. They quickly ran through their dance, each movement becoming more confident as they practiced. The music filled the air, and Emma felt herself get lost in the rhythm. It was liberating to express herself through dance, and she cherished every moment spent with her friends, feeling the bond between them strengthen with each shared laugh and practice step. As the time for the talent show approached, the auditorium began to fill with parents, teachers, and students, all eager to see the performances. Emma's heart raced as she sat backstage with her friends, peeking out at the audience. The excitement was palpable, and she could see parents waving at their children, encouraging them to shine. Suddenly, the lights dimmed, and the principal stepped onto the stage, welcoming everyone to the talent show. Emma felt a flutter of nerves in her stomach, but she quickly reminded herself of Officer Reynolds's words about courage. This was her moment to shine, to share her passion with those around her, and to show them how much she had grown. One by one, acts began to take the stage. There were singers, magicians, and even a group performing a comedic skit. Each performance received cheers and applause, boosting Emma's confidence. She watched in awe as her classmates showcased their talents, feeling inspired by their bravery. The talent show was a celebration of creativity and individuality, and Emma felt grateful to be a part of it. Finally, it was their turn. The announcer called out their name, and Emma felt her heart skip a beat. "This is it," she whispered to her friends as they lined up backstage. "Let's do our best." As they stepped onto the stage, the bright lights illuminated their faces, and the audience erupted in applause. Emma's nerves melted away, replaced by the thrill of performing. The music began, and they started their dance routine, moving in sync. Emma felt the rhythm pulse through her body, and she lost herself in the performance. With each step and twirl, she felt a sense of freedom. The laughter and cheers from the audience fueled her energy, and she couldn't help but smile. Together, they executed their routine flawlessly, their movements fluid and graceful. Emma felt as if they were flying, each leap and spin bringing them closer together as friends and performers. As they reached the finale, Emma looked out into the audience and spotted her mother beaming with pride. She caught sight of the boy in the red shirt, clapping enthusiastically, and a wave of gratitude washed over her. They had come a long way from their initial confrontation, and she felt a sense of camaraderie with him and her classmates that she hadn't experienced before. When their performance ended, the auditorium erupted in applause. Emma and her friends took a bow, grinning from ear to ear. They were met with cheers and shouts of encouragement, and Emma felt a rush of joy and accomplishment. They had put their hearts into the performance, and the response from the audience was overwhelming, filling her with warmth. After the show, Emma and her friends gathered backstage, their faces flushed with excitement. "That was amazing," Sarah exclaimed, her eyes wide. "I can't believe we did it." "Yeah, we were awesome," Max added, high-fiving Emma. "I knew we could do it." Emma beamed, her heart swelling with pride. "Thanks for all the practice, everyone. I couldn't have done it without you." As they celebrated their success, the principal announced the winners of the talent show. Emma held her breath, her stomach fluttering with anticipation. And the award for Best Group Performance goes to Emma and her friends. The auditorium erupted into cheers, and Emma felt her heart soar. They rushed up to the stage, receiving a small trophy and a round of applause, their smiles bright as they held it high. Later that day, as Emma walked home with her friends, she felt a sense of fulfillment wash over her. The talent show had not only been a chance to showcase their dance, but also an opportunity to strengthen the bonds of friendship. The laughter and support they shared made the experience even more special. As they reached her house, Emma turned to her friends. "I'm so glad we did this together. I feel like we're all closer now." "Definitely," Sarah agreed, her face lighting up. "We should keep dancing together. Maybe we can start a dance club or something." "I'd love that," Emma replied, her heart swelling with joy. The idea of continuing to dance with her friends filled her with excitement. They could explore different styles, learn new routines, and even perform at other events together. That evening, as she sat at the dinner table, Emma recounted the day's events to her family, her eyes shining with excitement. She shared every detail about the talent show, the performances, and the trophy they had won. Her parents listened intently, their pride evident in their smiles. "Emma, we are so proud of you for stepping out of your comfort zone and sharing your talent," her mother said, beaming. "You've really grown." Emma felt a warmth spread through her at her mother's words. She realized that this journey wasn't just about standing up for herself. It was also about discovering the strength that comes from friendship and support. Her parents' encouragement made her feel even more confident in her abilities. Later that night, as Emma lay in bed, she thought about all the friendships she had cultivated. She recalled how her friends had rallied around her, how they had supported her during the talent show, and how they had celebrated their collective achievements. It was moments like these that made her realize the importance of teamwork and collaboration. After a while, she reached for her journal, eager to capture her thoughts. She opened to a fresh page and began to write, her pen flowing across the paper. She wrote about her feelings of pride, the joy of performing, and the bonds of friendship that had deepened during the process. It felt good to put her thoughts into words, to reflect on her experiences, and to celebrate the changes in her life. As she wrote, a thought crossed her mind. She wanted to share her new ideas about dancing with her friends. Maybe they could invite more classmates to join them, creating a larger group where everyone could share their talents. They could host mini talent shows during lunch breaks, giving others a chance to shine and build their confidence, just like she had experienced. With a contented sigh, Emma closed her journal, feeling a sense of accomplishment wash over her. The day had been transformative, and she was eager to see what tomorrow would bring. She felt a deep sense of hope blooming within her, a belief that she could face whatever challenges lay ahead, armed with the support of her friends and family. As she drifted off to sleep, Emma held on to the thought that she had the power to change her story, to turn moments of fear into opportunities for growth. She knew that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, but she was ready to embrace them, knowing she had the support of her friends and family behind her. The morning sun peeked through Emma's curtains, casting stripes of light across her room. As she groggily opened her eyes, the excitement from the talent show still lingered in her heart. She couldn't wait to share her ideas about starting a dance club with her friends. The thought of bringing everyone together to celebrate their talents filled her with enthusiasm and anticipation. After a hearty breakfast, Emma hurried to school, her mind buzzing with possibilities. What if they could create a space where everyone felt encouraged to express themselves? What if their dance club could inspire others to join in? Emma imagined the laughter, the music, and the joy of performing together, and she couldn't help but smile. With each step toward school, her excitement grew, and she found herself daydreaming about all the fun they would have. When she arrived at school, the air was filled with chatter and laughter. Her friends were already gathered near the entrance, animatedly discussing the talent show. Emma approached them, her heart racing with anticipation. "Hey everyone, can we talk about starting a dance club?" she blurted out, unable to contain her excitement. Sarah's eyes lit up. "That sounds amazing. I've always wanted to be part of a dance group." Max chimed in. "Yeah, we could meet after school and practice together. We can even invite more people to join us." Encouraged by their enthusiasm, Emma suggested, "Let's make a poster to hang up around school. We can have our first meeting in the cafeteria after school today." The group quickly brainstormed ideas for the poster, jotting down catchy phrases like, "Join us for fun and dance," and "All levels welcome." They decided to include a drawing of a dancing figure and colorful musical notes to make it eye-catching. Emma felt the thrill of creativity as they sketched and colored together, the excitement palpable in the air. With the posters ready, they set off to hang them in various hallways, their energy infectious. Emma felt a sense of purpose as they worked together, each step bringing them closer to their goal. The more posters they hung, the more Emma imagined how their dance club could bring joy and creativity to others. After school, they gathered in the cafeteria, each of them buzzing with anticipation. Emma stood up on a chair to get everyone's attention. "Thank you all for coming. We're so excited to start this dance club together. We want everyone to feel welcome, whether you've danced before or if you just want to try something new." The room filled with a mixture of applause and chatter, and Emma's heart swelled with pride. She could see various students nodding and smiling, some even whispering to each other about joining. "Let's start with some simple stretches and warm-ups," Sarah suggested, demonstrating a few movements. The group followed along, laughing and encouraging each other. Emma felt the atmosphere shift as everyone began to feel more at ease. It was wonderful to see students from different grades and backgrounds coming together, united by a shared love of dance. After the warm-up, Emma led them through some basic dance steps. They practiced together, moving in sync as they laughed and cheered each other on. Emma's confidence grew with each passing moment. She felt a sense of belonging and camaraderie that she had longed for. The sound of their laughter filled the cafeteria, and the joy of dancing together brought a warmth to her heart. As the weeks went by, the dance club flourished. More students joined, each bringing diverse styles and talents to the group. They explored everything from hip-hop to ballet, each session filled with laughter and learning. Emma found herself stepping into a leadership role, guiding the group and encouraging everyone to express themselves creatively. She loved watching her friends grow and improve, and it filled her with a sense of purpose. One afternoon, as they wrapped up practice, Emma noticed a quieter girl sitting at the edge of the group, watching them intently. She had long curly hair and a shy smile. Emma approached her, feeling a wave of empathy. "Hey, I'm Emma. Would you like to join us?" The girl looked surprised, but nodded slowly. "I'd love to, but I'm not a very good dancer," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "Everyone is welcome here, no matter what level you're at. We're all learning together," Emma reassured her. "You can just join in and have fun. It's all about enjoying ourselves." With a small smile, the girl joined the group, and Emma felt a sense of joy at seeing her take that first step. She knew how daunting it could be to join a new group, and it made her heart swell to see more students feeling included and empowered. The girl, whose name was Lily, quickly became a cherished member of the club, her laughter and enthusiasm brightening their practices. As the dance club continued to grow, Emma and her friends decided to plan a showcase at the end of the semester, where they could present what they had learned. They envisioned an event filled with performances, where every participant could shine, no matter their skill level. The excitement was palpable, and everyone was eager to contribute to the planning. Weeks turned into months, and Emma found herself more confident than ever. The dance club had become a safe haven for many students, a place where they could express themselves without judgment. Emma felt grateful to be a part of something that brought so much joy to others. However, as the showcase approached, Emma began to feel nervous. She wanted everything to be perfect for her friends and fellow dancers. She spent hours planning the event, coordinating music, lighting, and rehearsals. The pressure began to mount, and she found herself feeling overwhelmed. One afternoon, as they practiced for the showcase, Emma noticed Sarah looking concerned. "Emma, you seem a bit stressed. Are you okay?" she asked gently. Emma sighed, running a hand through her hair. "I just want everything to go smoothly for everyone. I feel like I need to make it perfect, and I'm worried I'm letting everyone down." Sarah stepped closer, placing a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "You're not letting anyone down. We're all here to support each other, and we're having fun. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about enjoying the moment together." Emma nodded, taking a deep breath. She appreciated Sarah's words, realizing that the joy of dancing and being together was what truly mattered. "You're right. Thank you, Sarah. I'll try to focus on enjoying the experience rather than stressing about it." With her friend's support, Emma began to shift her mindset. She reminded herself that the showcase was an opportunity to celebrate their hard work and the friendships they had formed. This realization brought a sense of relief, and Emma felt the weight of the world lift off her shoulders. The idea of having fun while performing began to take precedence over her need for perfection. On the day of the showcase, the auditorium was filled with excited chatter and laughter. Parents and students filled the seats, eager to see the performances. Emma's heart raced with anticipation as she looked out at the audience. She felt a mix of nerves and excitement, but she also felt a deep sense of gratitude for the journey they had all taken together. The sight of familiar faces in the audience, especially her mother, waving enthusiastically, gave her the courage she needed. As the lights dimmed and the first act took the stage, Emma's anxiety began to dissipate. She watched as her friends performed, their faces lighting up with joy. The atmosphere was filled with encouragement and support, and Emma realized that this was what it was all about, the joy of sharing their passion with others. When it was finally their turn to perform, Emma took a deep breath, stepping onto the stage with her friends. The music began, and as they started their routine, all her worries melted away. They moved in sync, their smiles radiant, and the energy in the room was electric. Emma felt free, the joy of dancing washing over her. It was a celebration of everything they had worked for, and she felt a sense of unity with her friends that was palpable. As they finished their performance to thunderous applause, Emma felt a sense of accomplishment that words couldn't capture. They had done it together, and the experience had brought them all closer. In that moment, surrounded by her friends and the supportive audience, Emma knew that she had found her place. A community built on kindness, creativity, and the power of friendship. After the showcase, Emma and her friends gathered backstage, their faces flushed with excitement. "That was the best. We were amazing," Sarah exclaimed, her eyes wide with joy. "Yeah, I can't believe how well it went," Max added, high-fiving Emma. "We should do this again next year." Emma beamed, her heart swelling with pride. "Thanks for all the practice, everyone. I couldn't have done it without you." As they celebrated their success, the principal announced the winners of the talent show. Emma held her breath, her stomach fluttering with anticipation. And the award for Best Group Performance goes to Emma and her friends. The auditorium erupted into cheers, and Emma felt her heart soar. They rushed up to the stage, receiving a small trophy and a round of applause, their smiles bright as they held it high. Later that day, as Emma walked home with her friends, she felt a sense of fulfillment wash over her. The talent show had not only been a chance to showcase their dance, but also an opportunity to strengthen the bonds of friendship. The laughter and support they shared made the experience even more special. As they reached her house, Emma turned to her friends. "I'm so glad we did this together. I feel like we're all closer now." "Definitely," Sarah agreed, her face lighting up. "We should keep dancing together. Maybe we can start a dance club or something." "I'd love that," Emma replied, her heart swelling with joy. The idea of continuing to dance with her friends filled her with excitement. They could explore different styles, learn new routines, and even perform at other events together. The possibilities seemed endless. That evening, as she sat at the dinner table, Emma recounted the day's events to her family, her eyes shining with excitement. She shared every detail about the talent show, the performances, and the trophy they had won. Her parents listened intently, their pride evident in their smiles. "Emma, we are so proud of you for stepping out of your comfort zone and sharing your talent," her mother said, beaming. "You've really grown." Emma felt a warmth spread through her at her mother's words. She realized that this journey wasn't just about standing up for herself. It was also about discovering the strength that comes from friendship and support. Her parents' encouragement made her feel even more confident in her abilities. As the evening wore on, Emma's mind raced with thoughts of the future. She envisioned a dance club that would welcome everyone, regardless of their experience level. She dreamed of hosting workshops with guest instructors, teaching various styles of dance, and even organizing performances for the community. The more she thought about it, the more excited she became. Later that night, as Emma lay in bed, she thought about all the friendships she had cultivated. She recalled how her friends had rallied around her, how they had supported her during the talent show, and how they had celebrated their collective achievements. It was moments like these that made her realize the importance of teamwork and collaboration. After a while, she reached for her journal, eager to capture her thoughts. She opened to a fresh page and began to write, her pen flowing across the paper. She wrote about her feelings of pride, the joy of performing, and the bonds of friendship that had deepened during the process. It felt good to put her thoughts into words, to reflect on her experiences, and to celebrate the changes in her life. As she wrote, a thought crossed her mind. She wanted to share her new ideas about dancing with her friends. Maybe they could invite more classmates to join them, creating a larger group where everyone could share their talents. They could host mini talent shows during lunch breaks, giving others a chance to shine and build their confidence, just like she had experienced. With a contented sigh, Emma closed her journal, feeling a sense of accomplishment wash over her. The day had been transformative, and she was eager to see what tomorrow would bring. She felt a deep sense of hope blooming within her, a belief that she could face whatever challenges lay ahead, armed with the support of her friends and family. As she drifted off to sleep, Emma held on to the thought that she had the power to change her story, to turn moments of fear into opportunities for growth. She knew that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, but she was ready to embrace them, knowing she had the support of her friends and family behind her. The following weeks passed in a whirlwind of excitement and activity as the dance club grew and flourished. The cafeteria, once just a place for lunch, became a vibrant hub of creativity and expression. Students from all grades began to gather after school, each bringing their unique energy and enthusiasm. Emma felt a sense of pride in what they had built together, and the air buzzed with laughter and the sound of music. As the club expanded, Emma took on more responsibility. She organized practices, coordinated routines, and even reached out to local dance instructors for workshops. The idea of collaboration and learning from experienced dancers excited her. She envisioned inviting different teachers to share their knowledge, exposing the club to various dance styles and techniques. Every time a new instructor visited, the students would be filled with inspiration, and Emma loved watching them learn and grow. One afternoon, as Emma was setting up for practice, she noticed Sarah and Max deep in conversation. They were whispering, casting furtive glances in Emma's direction. Curiosity piqued, Emma approached them, a smile on her face. "What's going on? You both look like you're up to something," she asked, her eyes sparkling with intrigue. Sarah exchanged a glance with Max before grinning widely. "We were talking about organizing a surprise performance for you. We want to show our appreciation for all the hard work you've put into the club," she said, her eyes gleaming with excitement. Emma's heart swelled at the thought. "Oh, wow, that's really sweet. But you guys don't have to do that," she replied, feeling a mix of surprise and gratitude. The idea of being honored by her friends touched her deeply, and she felt a warmth spread through her. "But we want to. You've done so much to bring us all together. It's time we show you how much we appreciate it," Max insisted, his tone earnest and sincere. Touched by their words, Emma agreed to help them plan it, realizing that this was an opportunity for her friends to take the lead and express their creativity. They brainstormed ideas for the surprise performance, considering different themes and styles that reflected the spirit of their dance club. Emma was thrilled by the prospect of what they could create together. However, as the excitement grew, so did the pressure. Emma found herself juggling schoolwork, dance club responsibilities, and the unexpected stress of planning the surprise performance. She was determined to keep everything running smoothly, but the weight of her commitments began to wear on her. Late nights spent studying or preparing for practices left her feeling exhausted. She often found herself lying awake at night, thoughts racing as she mentally rehearsed routines and organized her schedule. One evening, after a particularly long day filled with back-to-back classes and a grueling practice, Emma came home and slumped onto her bed, overwhelmed and fatigued. Her journal lay open beside her, filled with lists of tasks, ideas for the dance club, and reflections on her day. As she stared at the pages, she felt a wave of frustration. How could she balance everything? The fear of disappointing her friends loomed over her like a dark cloud, and she felt the pressure mounting. The next day during lunch, Emma confided in Sarah about her feelings. "I'm really struggling to keep up with everything. I love the dance club and what we're doing, but I don't want to let anyone down. I feel like I'm being pulled in too many directions," she admitted, her voice strained and her brow furrowed with worry. Sarah listened intently, nodding in understanding. "Emma, you've done an incredible job leading the club, but it's okay to ask for help. We're all here for you, and we want to support you just like you've supported us. Maybe we can divide some of the responsibilities among the members." Emma nodded, considering Sarah's words. "That makes sense. I guess I've been trying to do everything myself because I want it to be perfect. I want everyone to enjoy this experience and feel proud. Nobody expects perfection, Emma. We just want to have fun and dance together. Let's talk to everyone at our next practice and see how we can share the load," Sarah suggested, her tone encouraging and reassuring. That afternoon, Emma mustered the courage to address the club. As they gathered in the cafeteria, she took a deep breath and shared her feelings. "I want to thank you all for your hard work and dedication to the dance club. It means the world to me. But I also want to be honest. I've been feeling a bit overwhelmed with everything, and I think it would be helpful if we could share some of the responsibilities." To her relief, the response was overwhelmingly supportive. Students chimed in with suggestions on how they could help, from organizing practices to coordinating the upcoming showcase. Emma felt a wave of relief wash over her, realizing that she didn't have to shoulder everything alone. The sense of community and teamwork enveloped her, restoring her spirit. As the weeks progressed, the club continued to thrive, and Emma felt the burden lift. With everyone contributing their ideas and efforts, the surprise performance began to take shape. They worked collaboratively, creating a routine that incorporated various styles, allowing each member to shine. Emma felt invigorated by the creativity flowing around her, and it sparked a new energy that fueled their practices. But just when things seemed to be settling down, an unexpected challenge arose. A week before their showcase, the school principal announced that they would be hosting a special assembly to celebrate the arts, and they invited the dance club to perform. Emma's heart raced at the news. The opportunity to showcase their talent in front of the entire school was thrilling. But it also meant they had to prepare an additional performance in a short time. "Okay, everyone." Emma gathered the club after school, her mind racing with possibilities. "We've been given an amazing opportunity to perform at the assembly next week. I know it's short notice, but I believe we can do this." Cheers erupted from the group, their excitement palpable. However, Emma could see some students exchanging worried glances. "I know we've been working hard for our showcase, but this could be a chance to show our school what we're all about." Sarah raised her hand, her enthusiasm infectious. "I think it's a great idea, Emma, but we'll need to practice a lot in the next few days to pull it off." "Agreed," Max added. "Let's break it down and come up with a routine that blends our existing choreography with something new for the assembly. We can do this together." With their spirits high, Emma felt a renewed sense of purpose. They spent the next few days in intense practice, refining their routine and incorporating elements from the surprise performance into the assembly piece. Emma was amazed at how quickly everyone adapted and collaborated, their creativity shining through. The air was filled with energy and determination, and Emma felt her own excitement grow as they rehearsed. However, as the assembly day approached, Emma found herself feeling the pressure again. The thought of performing in front of the entire school, including teachers and parents, sent her heart racing. She stayed up late rehearsing in front of her mirror, anxiously perfecting every move. The fear of forgetting the choreography haunted her, and she was determined not to let her friends down. Each night, she would practice until her muscles ached, pushing herself to ensure they would be ready. On the morning of the assembly, Emma arrived at school with a mixture of excitement and nerves. The auditorium was buzzing with energy as students filled the seats. She took a moment to breathe deeply, reminding herself of the support of her friends and the joy they had created together. She glanced around, taking in the sight of her classmates chatting and laughing, their faces bright with anticipation. As the assembly began, Emma felt the weight of her worries lift. She watched other performances, feeling inspired by the talent of her peers. A group of students performed a beautiful piano duet, their fingers dancing gracefully over the keys, while another group showcased a stunning acrobatic routine. Each act ignited a spark of excitement in Emma, reminding her of the joy of performing. When it was finally their turn, she stood backstage, heart pounding, surrounded by her friends. "We've got this," Emma encouraged, looking each of them in the eye. Their smiles reassured her, and she felt the warmth of their camaraderie wash over her. When they stepped onto the stage, the bright lights illuminated their faces, and the audience erupted into applause. Emma felt a wave of adrenaline rush through her as the music began. They moved in sync, their smiles radiant, and the energy in the room was electric. The fear that had gripped her moments before melted away, replaced by the joy of dancing with her friends. With each step, she felt the rhythm pulsing through her, and she lost herself in the music. As they finished their routine, the audience erupted into cheers, and Emma felt a sense of accomplishment that words couldn't capture. They had done it together, and the experience had brought them all closer. The applause echoed in her ears, and she felt a rush of pride. In that moment, surrounded by her friends and the supportive audience, Emma knew that she had found her place. A community built on kindness, creativity, and the power of friendship. After the assembly, Emma and her friends were met with congratulations and praise from students and teachers alike. They had not only showcased their talent, but had also inspired others to embrace their creativity. Emma felt a sense of fulfillment that words couldn't capture. As she walked through the hallways, her heart swelled with joy every time someone approached her to compliment their performance. Later that week, during their usual practice session, Sarah stood up and clapped her hands to get everyone's attention. "I think we should do another performance. That was so much fun, and we have all this energy from the assembly." The group erupted in agreement, excitement bubbling over as they discussed potential venues and events. Emma couldn't believe how far they had come and how their hard work had paid off. They brainstormed ideas for future performances, including a community event where they could showcase their skills and invite others to join. As they wrapped up practice that day, Emma felt a renewed sense of purpose. She was inspired not only by her friends' enthusiasm, but also by the impact they could have on their school and community. "Let's make this dance club something truly special," she exclaimed, her heart racing with excitement. As the days turned into weeks, Emma watched the dance club evolve. They became more than just a group practicing in the cafeteria. They formed a family, supporting each other through challenges and celebrating each other's successes. Emma found herself stepping into a more defined leadership role, guiding discussions and encouraging everyone to share their ideas. She felt empowered by her friends' trust in her abilities. However, even as things flourished, Emma learned that challenges were an inevitable part of the journey. One afternoon, as they were preparing for another performance, a sudden disagreement broke out among the members. Some wanted to stick to familiar routines, while others were eager to experiment with new styles. Emma could sense the tension rising, and she knew she had to step in before things escalated. "Hey, everyone!" Emma called out, raising her hands to quiet the room. "I understand that we all have different ideas about what we want to do, and that's great. It shows how passionate we are about our dance club. But let's remember that we're all here to support each other and work together. How about we take a vote on whether we should incorporate new styles or stick with our existing routines for the upcoming performance?" The group murmured in agreement, and Emma felt a sense of relief wash over her. They discussed their ideas openly, and Emma facilitated the conversation, ensuring everyone had a chance to voice their opinions. By the end of the discussion, they had reached a compromise, deciding to blend their current routines with some new elements. The collaboration brought the group closer together, and Emma felt a sense of pride in how they handled the disagreement. As the next performance approached, the excitement in the air was palpable. Emma and her friends worked diligently, refining their routine and ensuring that everyone felt included. Practices became more than just rehearsal. They transformed into moments of laughter, bonding, and creativity. Emma often found herself reflecting on how far they had come, from a small group of friends to a thriving dance community. On the day of their performance, Emma felt a mix of nerves and exhilaration. The venue was filled with bright lights and a buzzing crowd. She glanced at her friends, who were equally excited, their smiles infectious. As they took the stage, Emma felt the familiar rush of adrenaline surge through her. The music began, and they moved as one, their choreography a beautiful blend of styles and expressions. As they finished their routine, the audience erupted into applause, and Emma felt a sense of accomplishment wash over her. They had faced challenges together and had come out stronger, united in their love for dance and creativity. The exhilaration of performing in front of their peers filled her with joy, and she could see the pride on her friends' faces. After the performance, the club gathered backstage, their faces flushed with excitement. "That was incredible," Sarah exclaimed, her eyes wide with joy. "Yeah, I can't believe how well it went," Max added, high-fiving Emma. "We should do this again next year." Emma beamed, her heart swelling with pride. "Thanks for all the practice, everyone. I couldn't have done it without you." As they celebrated their success, Emma realized that it wasn't just about the performances. It was about the friendships they had built and the experiences they had shared. That night, as Emma lay in bed, she thought about the future of the dance club. She envisioned more performances, workshops, and opportunities for everyone to shine. She felt a sense of excitement for what lay ahead, knowing that they could face any challenge together. With a smile on her face, Emma closed her eyes, filled with gratitude for her friends, her journey, and the power of dance. Tomorrow would bring new adventures, and she was ready to embrace them all.